There is so much contrasting schools of thought on what is the best food and diet for us humans. And we have to appreciate that actually it's quite impressive that we got to this point in our society where we even get the decision on what food we can actually eat, because it wasn't that long ago that we didn't have this choice, whether it was when we were hunting for our food and whatever we caught on that day is what we ate, or whatever we could find or grow in vegetable wise, that's what we ate, or whether it was post-war and whatever was available, that's what we could eat. Or maybe today you are somebody that is just can't afford very much food. However, I think even on low incomes, we still got a level of choice. However, I also appreciate it can be so confusing to know actually what is healthy, because you have so many people out there with contrasting schools of thought. You got people saying that high sugar is bad, or high sugar actually is fine and don't worry about it, or high fat is bad, or low fat is bad, or meat is bad, or meat is a superfood, or everyone should be vegans, or everyone should eat meat, or lectins like gluten is bad for everyone, or no, actually it's only bad for some people. And the thing is that people on both of these sides of the argument are very smart people. They're not stupid. So it can be very confusing. However, I think there is one thing that is very, very similar amongst pretty much 90 to 95% of all these diets, that actually is a big reason, I think, why someone that eats, say, only meat or only vegetables can actually both be quite healthy. And so this is what I'm going to reveal in this video. And it's also a very easy thing that you can apply very quickly. If you're looking to be more healthy, this is one of the easiest things I would suggest, one rule to put in place. Let's get started. Hello and welcome back to the channel. My name is Steven, if you haven't yet met me. And this video, I want to talk about this one thing that I think is the reason why so many diets actually do work. And it's not necessarily the thing that we think it is. And I'm going to just let you know straight away. And that is, I think one of the things that pretty much every diet will cut out as number one is the ultra processed foods. The foods that aren't made for us, the foods that have been manipulated by man, by industry, for really only two purposes. For convenience, because they are trying to extend the shelf life so it can last forever. This can make it super cheap, but also for our taste. They are manipulating it to make it as tasty for us and as pleasurable for us in the short term. But I think there's hardly anyone out there that's going to argue with the fact that ultra-processed food has really negative effects on our health, and so much research has shown that. And it's probably one of the biggest reasons why our society is getting less healthy and more obese. And so the diet I would highly recommend is the natural single ingredient diet, because I think it's very hard to go wrong if you're getting ingredients that are in its whole form and that were made for us. So for example, meat, fish, vegetables, fruit, anything that really has come straight from the ground, straight from the animal, and then we can consume it. The problem comes when we start to isolate certain ingredients, and particularly when we do this to the chemical degree that ultra processed foods do it at. This is where our bodies just aren't designed to take it in like this, and this can cause chaos. And I think this is why someone that is on the keto diet, or on the vegan diet, or the vegetarian diet, or the carnivore diet can actually all be relatively healthy, because all of those diets, if you're going to restrict yourself to certain food groups, you're really not going to consider ultra processed foods. You're going to consider things like fat or sugar or whatever it may be, but it's really not going to be the ultra processed foods. And so yes, of course, there are definitely going to be some diets that are going to be better than others, and I have my reasons why I eat certain foods. But I would say if you're looking to be more healthy, just start off with finding foods that don't have a list of ingredients in. And if they do have a list of ingredients in, as a general rule, and of course this doesn't work for everything, there are obviously going to be exceptions, but for the majority of the foods that you buy, the less ingredients it has, there's a stronger likelihood that it's going to be more healthy. So if you really have no idea what really is healthy, or you look at the ingredients and you look at the list and you're not really sure what they are, because it can be very confusing, then just try to stick with ingredients that don't have very many ingredients in it. And ideally, if you really want to be super healthy, then I think to stick with single ingredients and combine those foods when you get to your kitchen. The definition of an ultra-processed food is one that cannot really be made that easily, or pretty much impossible to be made in your kitchen, and has to require industrial types of equipment to be able to manipulate that food to the degree that they do it at. So, you know, cooking a stew or cooking a meal at your house is considered processed, but it's not considered ultra-processed. So this is a really easy rule that you can implement. And the reason why I think this works is because I think God has given us these foods. I think He's given us a whole variety of foods, and therefore I don't think we have to, you know, restrict ourselves to only vegetables or restrict ourselves to only meat. And I know obviously there's going to be people watching this that are going to completely disagree with that statement, and that's okay. But I think that God has given us a variety of different foods, and He's given it us in these natural states that are designed for us to intake. And I think that's the best way of being healthy. The problem with man manipulating foods is, although they're very good at making them really tasty, what I don't think they're very good at is making them healthier. And I don't think we would ever get to the point where we can create a food that is more healthy than food that is in its natural state. So my message is, trust God that He has provided us the food for us to take in. And I really haven't found any research or any reputable source that would really disagree with that to a large degree. Obviously, there are going to be certain natural foods that are good. Obviously, things like cyanide are very obviously not great. And there are certain foods, of course, that some people don't do very well with. So, of course, you cut them out, and that's fine. But as a general rule, I think that works very well. So I have actually done I've made a downloadable PDF ebook type of thing on the 5 top rules. This was one of them, as it comes out ultra-processed foods. There's 5 top rules that I think if you follow will have a dramatic impact on helping you not just to lose weight, but also to be more healthy. And so if you want to get your copy, it's completely free. All you have to do is go into the description of this video and you can download it just by putting your email in. And another really easy way of improving your health is changing the order in which you eat your food, which I know sounds crazy, but it can have a dramatic impact on your blood sugar levels simply by changing the order in which you eat your meal. And if you're interested in that, then I highly recommend that you check out my next video that's going to pop up in just a second here. But just before it does, don't forget, as normal, that you can get 10% of Vivo Barefoot minimalist shoes that I wear every single day. These are like a workout for your feet. You can get £10 off your first bag of coffee, super healthy organic coffee. You can get 10% off Athanaze, a superfood specifically formulated for men's health, and 15% off Fussy, which is a natural deodorant that doesn't have any of the harmful chemicals that traditional deodorants have. I'll either see you on this video here or on my next, so don't forget to subscribe. See you next time. Thanks for watching.